Chapter 6. He's our man. When Vasil and Mossy find Brian's apartment, she makes quick work of the lock and they slip in, unseen by anybody in the building. Clearly, Brian has bailed on this place, and at first glance it would appear as if he felt need to vent some rage on his way out the door. Vasil brushes aside some shattered glass with his foot, while Mossy removes her gloves to get a better sense of the energy in the room. She passes her hands within a breath of the small sofa and end table. Almost as if a magnificent mime, she slowly passes her hands over the spaces he was most likely to have last touched. Mossy shares her thoughts. There was a great sense of urgency here. I can't quite tell if it's from panic or exhilaration. One thing for sure, he's not coming back. Vasil shrugs it off as self-evident. A small lamp has been left on across the room. Everything else in the apartment has been strewn and scattered out across the floor, tabletops, and furniture. From what he left behind, Vasil suggests, I would say this is the work of a guy either having enough money to not care or not enough time for it to matter. A diversion, perhaps? Vasil wonders. Seems reasonable, she concurs, then states with confidence. This is our guy, no doubt. She wanders into the bedroom, where she is pleased to find a pair of Brian's dirty underwear. She pulls a big baggie out of her pouch with one hand, while reaching down with the tip of her sword to lift them. Untouched, she places them in the bag. That is disgusting, remarks Vasil, poking his head into the room just in time to witness Mossy collecting her find. To you maybe, but I know things that you do not, she taunts as she spins her blade into its sheath. Vasil grunts. You always say that, and it will always be true, she adds. Just then they both feel a sudden change in the energy dynamics of the space. Mossy hears multiple feet tiptoeing down the hall. As Vasil picks up on her reaction, she gives a slight nod for him to cover the window, while she presses her ear gently to the door. She whispers back over her shoulder, Here they come. Vasil disappears as a mist into the shadows behind the door as Mossy whips a sheer length of cloth from her pouch that masks her, as if she pulled the corner of the room around herself with a swirl, just ahead of the light from the opening door. Bursting through are 5 persons, all dressed in black with guns drawn. It is instantly obvious to the team captain, a well-muscled, middle-aged grunt with a bald head and whiskers, that they are too late. He takes a brisk walk through the apartment, then waves the team out. After the team files out of the room, he turns back for one last look. The captain spins around when the door slams shut and sees Vasil emerge from the shadows, while at the same moment he feels Mossy's hand on his shoulder with her blade at his neck. Vasil steps in close to question his captive. Mossy has blinded the minds of the rest of the team, long enough for them to ride the elevator before realizing their captain is missing. Vasil assumes a most monstrous form, as if an apparition from a terrifying dream, and is suddenly inches from the captain's face, growling with a tenor in his voice that is not of this world. Who sent you? Speak or die, demands Vasil. The terrified captain stammers out, General Vasquez. Then, almost in tears, it was Vasquez who cleared this mission. Vasil growls deeply as he turns him around to face Mossy. She places the tips of her thumb and middle finger of her left hand to his temples, draining him of any memory of this encounter. As she releases her hand, Vasil slugs him in the back of the head, knocking him out so that he slumps into Mossy's arms. When they hear the team rushing out of the elevator, Vasil looks at Mossy with a big, mischievous smile. No, this is not the place, she cautions as she drops the guy to the floor. The door flies open at the same moment the captain flattens out on the ground with a distinct thud. They all stand in shock for a moment or two before the captain rolls over, groggy, having pissed himself, and with no memory of anything since looking back into the room. The window is slightly open, but no one notices.